Installment number 1. Do you think I sound like a pirate? If you do, perhaps that's because I am. If you dare listen to the story, you may be sleeping tonight with one eye open. Ah, ha, ha, ha. At least that's the way we all slept on the ship. That is, if you wanted to see the early rise of the sun the next day. Ah, ha, ha, ha. Good day to you all. How would you be today? You see, I be asking 'cause I've been away for some time now. I've been riding on the ocean for quite a while. Not sure how long. Perhaps years have passed me by. I seem to have lost the ability to tell one day from another. Ah, ha, 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 ha. I'll be reciting you a bit of a story if you don't mind. The story is about myself, me captain and a ship of men, along with a deserted isle filled with beautiful women. An imposing character, the captain. He is with a bit of a nasty temperament, no manners to speak of, and an eye for the ladies whenever we set to shore. Unfortunately, it has been some time since that has happened. The captain, on one of his better days, spat at me. I be needing the company of some lassies. We need to find land, and find it we shall, as he walked away. His men cheer, for they are wanting to take the captain ashore. You see, he allows his men certain freedoms they do not normally get while tending to the ship. Also, our provisions are getting dangerously low, especially the bloody rum. It would be very dangerous to run out of rum on this pirate ship. But first, we will start our journey together with me telling you a bit about myself. I go by the name of Sly. Not sure why, but it is the only name I remember being called as a young lad. You see, it was told to me that I was left on the deck of a ship by me mum, as she could no longer take care of me. I was at the age of 4 years old. A mate had taken me below deck, telling me to keep quiet. I suspect me mum had paid this man to stow me away. The ship, it just so happens, was embarking on a sail to the West Indies from the land of England. On this ship were some ladies attending, ages ranging from 16 to 35 or so. They are going, after the majesty of the time, place claim to the region in order to bring civilization and order for the masses there. The ladies, all of them the prettiest of the pretty, had been absconded by order of thy majesty. Deputies scoured the land, paying families handsomely for their women. These women are going so that they can teach children and set up care for the sick and elderly in this new land thy majesty now controls. The schooner they will be sailing on is a cargo schooner named the Cayucas. It has sailed back and forth to the Indies many a time and knows its path well. The ladies should have a safe voyage as they travel to their new land. There would be only one small problem. As the ship headed into the land of blue sky with blue-green waters, it ran into a massive storm. The small ship was tossed about violently as the swells of the ocean grew during the storm, ending up shipwrecked on a small island somewhere north of the Indies. There were only a few men on board, as this was just a small cargo ship with not much cargo on it at the time. So the ladies, about 20 of them, took control of the situation and did the best they could with what the circumstances provided them. Apparently, I was adopted by the ladies, as they had not discovered me until the ship had long gotten underway. One young lady in particular took a shine to me. Her name was Talisa. As I grew, I remember her having the most beautiful green eyes one could imagine, along with an overly kind and helpful spirit about her. With trade winds warming up the days and nights, the pasty white ladies from the cold, foggy coast of Europe spend much of their time frolicking on the white sandy beaches and in the warm, tropical waters, becoming golden brown with sun-bleached hair. Playing in the tide pools and relaxing in the waterfalls flowing in the small forest from a midsummer rain drenching. Every day, almost like clockwork, clouds would come in off the ocean from the east, drenching the isle for about 30 minutes. The rains would stop as quickly as they started, always giving these new residents fresh water to drink and bathe in. The island, about 20 kilometers long and 10 wide, was dotted with small concealed beaches on the western side, some grassy meadows in the middle, and a rocky black volcanic bed from the volcano that had created it on the eastern side. This island had all for the one looking for paradise. But these ladies were not looking for paradise. Instead, they wanted to start a new life, to start families, share their knowledge with others. What could become of them stranded on such a small isle with nowhere to go? Lisa and a couple of her friends, Nicole and Shona, were in charge of the sewing and bedding for this new little village that was appearing as the days and months passed with no rescue in sight. You see, they were able to salvage much of what was on the ship, so much so that they had disassembled the ship, enabling themselves to set up homes much like what they were headed to. The island was large enough as to not walk onto each other, with one side being lush and green, full of wild fruits, and there were these very large elephant plants. The girls would strip the leaves down to their small fibers, and then wind the fibers together, making a crude type of thread to sew with. One of the men, Ian, would keep an eye out for any ships that may pass by this small isle. It just so happened that he had been commissioned a new looking glass, the finest the Europeland had ever produced. One could see for a few kilometers on a clear day. They had to be very careful to keep a watch for the colors flying from ship flags. You see, this is pirate country. Should a pirate ship see that there was people on this isle, they would be sure to stop to steal, pilfer, and kill whatever they like. Ian had learned before they left that pirates had been playing a new trick on unsuspecting victims. You see, when pirates fly their colors, if all black is on the flag, it is showing then they are in a good mood and generally pose no threat. However, if you see any red in the colors flying, you had better prepare for battle, as they are coming to do what they please. The trick being played is a few marauding pirate ships have been flying all black with full knowledge and intent to attack whatever they come across. It was Ian's insistence of pirates in this area that led them to take every bit of their ship apart so as no pirates would see their misfortune. This island, as luck would have it, was very inconspicuous in its view from out in the ocean, really looking nothing like there was to stop for. Lucky for these residents, as pirate ships had been seen cruising close to shore a few times since that fateful day of shipwreck. The residents, always hoping for a cargo ship to come to passing, as their hopes of a rescue ship coming by never seemed to be an option for them. Always mindful to keep any smoke low to minimize the chance of pirates discovering them on this small isle. A few of the ladies had taken shine to the men whose fares found them on this isle of paradise with all of these beautiful women. Oh, you were sure to have your catfights over the men at times, especially Shad and Luke, two men who stood tall and lean, being much the age of these ladies. Ian, who we spoke of earlier, was an older gentleman, while the only other male to take this ill-fated trip was Captain Ely, who unfortunately was killed trying to save his ship during the great storm. With few to be had, many of the ladies spent much time with each other. One day in particular, Charlene and Rebecca went to one of the small concealed beaches, as they would do almost daily. They enjoyed heading north one day and then south the next, in search of that next beach to discover. On this beach, after they had disrobed and played in the ocean water for a bit, they lay down on a small grass lay that Rebecca had to Lisa sew for her. It was just wide enough for the two ladies to lie down on, being shoulder to shoulder. The two firm, sun-drenched bodies laid there, soaking up paradise in its full glory. Rebecca, while laying there, began thinking of her feelings for Charlene, and how she had such a strong desire for her. Fighting these feelings for a while now, feeling it was not right to harbor such a thing. Then, all of a sudden, Charlene rose a bit, rolled over towards Rebecca, placing her bosom onto Rebecca's. Then So, if you be liking such a the story to continue, you must share with your friends, after which you must press the like button. If you don't press the like button, that's okay. Not everyone will like it. But if Sly does not receive enough likes, he will not continue the story. Instead, he may visit with a few of his mates back at your homes. He understands there is this scoundrel known as Santa Claus who visits this time of year. Well, if you believe he knows when you're naughty or nice, a pirate knows when you like or dislike. When you dislike a pirate story, you best heed the opening lines of this story and sleep with one eye open. For a pirate does not come down a chimney. Rather, he breaks your door down and does what he please. Arr! How many likes will it take to continue the story? I'm a pirate. Do you really think I'm going to tell you that? Why don't I just tell you where me and my mates have buried our gold treasures? It will never happen. Sleep well, my pretties.